My name is Jill McGrale Maher. I'm the Executive Director of Autism Learning Partners in Worcester, Massachusetts, and I'm here to talk about social skills today. Addressing social skills deficits with children on the autism spectrum is something that I've been working very actively on for the last 17 or 18 years. Social skills are one of the really first indicators, or lack of social skills indicators, for children on the autism on the spectrum. One of the reasons that parents will look for a diagnosis with autism because of the lack of connectedness with their child, lack of joint attention, lack of eye contact, lack of warmth and sharing with their family members, and really in going from the part of diagnosis all the way up into adult life and being successful and happy as an adult. There is an enormous amount of data at this point to show that one of the reasons that people with autism are losing their jobs, not being successful in their life, not being happy in their life is because of social skills. It's not because they don't have skills for their job or to live on their own or in a shared living situation. It's because their social skills or lack of social skills get in the way. So one of the things that had been a frustration for me about 17 or 18 years ago was the lack of a real solid behaviorally based, ABA-based curriculum or teaching program to teach children in all parts of the spectrum. Young children, young teenagers, second, third, fourth graders, really good concrete social skills. And so one of the things that I had to do was to really develop an assessment based on typical development. So really looking at other children of all ages, what are they doing that really makes them real good, social being. So I have developed an assessment over the years, looking at everything from social pragmatics, eye contact, active listening skills, facial expressions, imitative skills, play skills, all the way up to being able to have really good perspective-taking skills. So from reading another person's emotions to walking into a room, stepping back, sort of scoping it out and deciding what's the best thing for me to do to be able to be successful in this situation. And so that is really what our social skills curriculum is based on. It is so simple that people think this can't possibly do anything, but it does. It's very successful. Broken up into 3 levels. So the first level is very basic introductory skills. Teaching children to work with each other, first of all, is something that's really not typical in the teaching model for people with autism. There's a lot of individual instruction typically, and that has been shown for about 25, 30 years to be very effective. But really teaching children to work in a group, which is what social situations typically are. We're not by ourselves when we're being social, right? So teaching in a small group situation, those basic pragmatics, eye contact, turning towards someone, teaching active listening skills, nodding your head, some commenting, peer imitation, which is really important. We all learn by observation, and it starts out by very basic, imitating what your peers are doing, then going into some more conversational skills, compliments, how you find out information about someone else. Many children on the spectrum, I don't like to make generalizations, but many children on the spectrum are not typically very interested in other people. So really having to teach those skills and practice them over and over again. One of the other things that we know very much about a lot of our learners that we work with is that they do require multiple learning opportunities. And so the curriculum really does incorporate multiple practice until those skills are mastered. We typically teach 2 to 3, maybe 4 with some of our more able learners, skills at a time until they're mastered, with fun activities to practice. So we do have, in our 6-hour social program on Saturdays, we do 3 very structured groups, and then we have a lot of socialization opportunities throughout the day as well. The kids have fun, they love coming, they make friends. And it's very, very successful. The kids are learning skills along the way. One of the questions that I have people ask me a lot is, why don't we use typical peers in the groups? We do use peer models. We have some typically neurologically typical kids that do come as mentors, but in the actual groups, I have not found in public elementary schools, private day schools, and in private social skills groups that I've run. And to be very very blunt about it, if we use typical models in the actual structured learning groups, and we do require repetition of practicing looking at people, looking at people, looking at people, looking at people, the typical kids get very, very bored with that. And so rather than using typical peers during the social skills teaching groups, we use typical peers for generalization. And it really does something. One of my mentors many years ago said to me, and it holds very true here, it doesn't matter, and people out in the world don't need to know how many times our kids have practiced something, as long as when they go out in the world, they look just seamless and they look very practiced and comfortable with the skills that we've taught them. The last thing that I would say is that social skills, people just approach teaching social skills in a different way, and there's no need to do that. As a good practitioner, a good teacher, and most importantly, a good behavior analyst, social skills can be taught in just as simply and easily as any other skill. And our goal for all of our families and all of our learners and our children, our clients, is really our end goal is to have a happy, successful, blended life in the community. And so social skills is such an important piece of that.